Yeah, I think so. The mute is on.
Nih, pustakaan. Marami gimana ini? Dia pun ani kayak ang dikaki. Hindi na. Let's begin. Okay. Everyone, please say 3 times together. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Very good evening to everyone. And so, before I start, once again, I would like to wish that may this session also bring you a lot of peace, a lot of happiness. So, for your life. So, and may you develop at least slightly in this noble, non-sectarian path. Right? And today, I would like to share all the merits that we accumulate with a very special person in my life. So my dad, he passed away this evening at 2 p.m. So we are going to share all the merits with him wherever he is. May he be well, happy, and peaceful. Right? So that's how nature is. We all learn the impermanence of things. Whenever you develop in the Dhamma practice, you will realize, so this is a universal thing, right? So whenever these kind of things happen to the others, so you handle. But whenever it happens to one of your own, then then you feel it deep, right? So that's how the nature of common people is. So somehow we have to understand it's a universal thing. All the beings, they rise, then they change, and finally pass away. Right? So then, so that's what happened. Then, then let's share all the merits with him wherever he is. Right? So now we are going to start today's meditation session. And as we scheduled today, the all students, they will begin the 3rd step of breathing meditation. So in the 3rd step of breathing meditation, we narrow down our focus so further, right? Earlier, the all students were asked to observe the touch of the breath within this big triangular area. But now, if possible, only if possible, please narrow down your focus so up to this small triangular area, right, below the nostrils and above the upper. So if you feel like it's impossible, then what you have to do is once again, please go back to the first step and please continue with the first one. Right? I'm going to describe what is the first step is, right? So, so please pay your entire attention to the to the touch of the breath, then within this small triangular area, right? So within this area, whatever when the breath comes and touches, please be aware. So this is for all students. Whenever the breath comes and touches, please be aware. And at the same time, right? And at the same time, so if you feel like, right? If you feel like, if you don't feel the touch of the breath within that particular period of time, so please observe the sensations that arise within this small triangular area. Sometimes you will encounter certain sensations, so you feel them like pinching with the needle. Can you understand? So pinching with the needle. So if not, sometimes you will feel coldness, right? Sometimes you will feel heat. Sometimes you will feel the air, right? So the air, so the general air, so you will feel it coming and touching your this particular air, not the breath that you breathe, right? Then after that, sometimes you will feel like you will feel the pulsing sensation within this particular area. And there will be various kinds of other sensations that you cannot name by a certain term. Right? For particular sensations, we have words. Right? We can recognize certain sensations as this is pain, right? And this is heat, right? This is coldness, like that. And there are various kinds of other sensations that you don't know by name. But it doesn't mean they don't exist. So throughout this body, there are uncountable number of sensations that arise and pass away. So, but since we don't pay our attention, we don't recognize. So then what we have to do is, so we have to, if we don't know the name of that particular sensation, let it be so. Just let it be so. What you have to do is, you have to be aware that right now I am feeling a sensation. Got it? Right. Please be aware like that. That is only for all students, right? If you cannot concentrate on this particular area, then please move back to the first step of breathing meditation. So when we practice the first step of breathing meditation, this is how we do it. So please pay your entire attention to your breath. When the breath is coming in, please be fully aware. When it is going out, please be fully aware. Don't go with the breath all the way. Instead, please stop your observation at the end of your nostrils. That's a place that you cannot see by eyes. That's a place that you have to mark by recognizing it with your own experience, right? So then, if it is coming in, please be fully aware and be with that moment and focus on that particular breath. When it is going out, let it be so. Keep on being aware that right now my breath is going out. If it is long, if it is short, if it is gross, if it is soft, let it be so. Just keep on being aware. You understand? So, new students, do you have any question? Right, okay. Then please observe the bare, normal, natural breath as it is. Incoming breath and outgoing breath. So like that, please practice. So before we begin every day. I teach you something from Buddha, so which we can apply into our ordinary life. So to maintain peace of mind. So by developing those particular qualities towards the other. So already learned the duties of five kinds of duties of parents towards the children, and then five kinds of duties of the children towards the parents, and then we also learned the duties of friends towards friends, right? And then we also learned the duties of um, the, of a boss towards the workers, right? We learned that one, and then so those are the ones that we learned. So last one that we learned was the duties of a senior officer or a senior manager of a company or a CEO of a workplace towards his or her fellow colleagues, right, co-workers. And today, we are going to learn the duties, five kinds of duties of a worker. So that means employee towards the employer, right? So then let's learn that. So please write them down so fast. So when we practice these things, those things will help us to maintain a very good social life. And when we maintain such kind of good social life, right, then what will happen is, so it helps you to maintain the peace of mind, and that peace of mind will help you to develop, concentrate well, and that ability to concentrate faster, so that will help you to develop in meditation, and thus you will develop deeper morality, concentration, and wisdom. And that will lead to real life. That's why Buddha taught all these things as a whole for the people. It doesn't matter whether someone is a Buddhist, Hindu, Christian, Muslim, atheist, or agnostic. All of them can practice these things, right? Right. So these are the duties, general duties of a employee towards the employer, right? The last time, employer to the employee. Okay. Right. First one is coming to work early. That's number one. Coming to work early. If you don't come to work early, then that will definitely create, right? That will definitely create conflicts at workplaces. Most of the times, we can see this factor causes conflicts between co-workers, right? Especially the managers and the other fellow workers. So therefore, Buddha says, coming to work early. That's the first duty of an employee. And then, second one is when you leave the workplace. So you have to check whether the things that you already did, they are well organized before you leave. Right? So you might not be able to finish the whole thing within that day. But whatever things that you did, you check whether you have organized everything well before you leave the workplace. Right? That's number 2. Then number 3 is taking whatever things which were given, right? So it means is you should not steal from your workplace. So that's a way how you show your gratitude, show your loyalty towards your workplace, right? So then so you take whatever things which were given, and then so then number 4 is doing the um, doing the assigned works, giving your best, right? Whatever things that you assign to. So you have to understand the work well, and then you have so please try to finish it, right? So as well as you can, giving your best, right? Then number 5, uh, so uh, so you should not spread bad rumors about the higher officers or the company. That's also very important. So instead of bad mouthing, whatever the good qualities that your company or high officers do have, so you have to spread those good rumors instead of bad rumors. Right? So by these, when you practice these 5, right? Coming to work early, leaving after checking everything whether they are well organized, right? And then taking whatever things which were given, and then at the same time working, uh, so doing things, doing the assigned duties, giving your best, and then spreading good word, right? So fame, right? Good fame about your company or your high officers, so among the other people. So that will make you a favorable, that means favorable and then well-liked employee, right? So please practice this one. Okay. With that, we are going to, please apply them into your life, working life, and that will help you to be a very good employee. And then so it will help you to develop peace of mind. You will be able to, then you will be able to use that peace of mind to practice dharma, so meditation practice and all the other noble actions, and then that will help you to develop in the dharma practice and in real peace. Now everyone, please keep your back straight, neck straight, head straight. Please keep your right palm on your left palm. Let your whole body to relax. First, I will pay my sincere respect and gratitude towards Buddha, and after that, I will begin. So let's begin today's silent meditation session. Everyone, please concentrate. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Itimiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho viññācarana sampanno sugato lukamido anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manussānaṁ buddho bhagavati swakato bhagavata dhammo Sambittiko akaliko ehi passiko opanaiko paccattang veditammo viññohiti. Supanipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ujupanipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Nyaya Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Samiji Panipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Yadidam Chattari Purisa Yugani Atte Purisa Pugala Ese Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ahuniyo Pahuniyo Nakiniyo Anjali Karaniyo Anutterang Punyakitang Lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. With a very calm mind, with a very quiet mind, with an alert, very attentive mind, with a very patient, very peaceful mind. Everyone, please start your meditation. If you are practicing the first step of breathing meditation, please do so. All students, please practice the third step of breathing meditation. Please, if you cannot focus that deeper, then please move back to the first step and keep practicing that one for some time. And then when your mind is concentrated, then please try the third step. Right? So whatever the meditation practice that you are going to practice, your meditation be very, very successful. Everyone, please start your meditation right now. May your meditation be very, very successful. Very, very successful. Now, if your legs are paining, you can change your posture. We are going to practice loving kindness meditation in brief. We are going to practice loving kindness meditation briefly. But please keep your eyes closed. First, let's share our loving kindness with ourselves first. Please think. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be really peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards yourself first. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards our dear parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. May my dear mother, may my dear father, may my dear teachers, relatives, and friends be well, be happy, be peaceful. May they be really peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards your parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards the people in the middle. The people who are not your friends, at the same time, the people towards people who are not your enemies. May all the neutral people be well. May all the neutral people be happy. May all the neutral people be peaceful. May they be really peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards all the neutral people. Neutral people. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards our enemies. We all have negativities. Because of those negativities, we do hurtful things, sometimes towards the others. So sometimes there are people who can control them. There are people who cannot. So please spread, please be pitiful, compassionate towards those people who hurt you in the past, and then forgive them for their mistakes mentally. Then spread your loving kindness towards them. May all my enemies be well. May all my enemies be happy. May all my enemies be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your sincere loving kindness towards your enemies. Your enemies. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards all the beings in the world. Human beings, animals, fish, birds, and all the beings. All the beings. Let them be beautiful or ugly, clever or unclever, visible or invisible. Spread your loving kindness towards all. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your sincere loving kindness towards all the beings in the world. Bhavatu sampe mangalam rakantu sampe divatam samme buddhanubhavini samme dhammanubhavini sabbe sanganubhavini sada sutti bhavantu te. Sadhu. 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 Now everyone, please calmly open your eyes. Let your whole body to relax. Now please join your palms together and say 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, so as usual, so I would like to give you 2 minutes if you want to go to the bathroom or if your legs are paining to walk for a bit. So I can give you 2 minutes. So if you don't have such kind of need, so please wait. So the others, so they can take a small rest of 2 minutes. Then after that, we will begin today's so spiritual teaching. Now, it looks like nobody wants to go. Then we are going to start. Okay? So, dear Dhamma friends, we already learned about, so during the first 3 weeks, we already learned about what is meditation and the benefits of meditation and the practices of meditation. Right? And then at the same time, we also learned so the 5 enemies of meditation. Now hope all of you remember. The first enemy is Miss Chanti. The first
addiction to sensual pleasure.
Addiction to sensual pleasure. In Pali, Kama Chand. Second one, Sri Ashwaya.
Aversion.
Aversion. Then Miss Daniel, number 3. Laziness. Cole, number 4. Wandering mind. And Mr. Kevin.
Is it doubt?
Doubt. Yeah. Those are the 5 things. So 5 enemies of meditation. Starting from this week, if there are enemies for somebody, so in the general world, not only you have enemies, so you also have friends too, right? So now we are going to learn about the 4 kinds of friends in meditation. So there are 4 kinds of friends that we have in meditation. In Pali, they are called as Iddipadas. Iddipadas, but I use the word friends. So for Iddipada has deeper meaning. So the Iddipada means the 4 kinds of pillars. So 4 kinds of pillars. So that somebody, so that someone can hold, right? Iddipada, right? So they strongly hold you. So that's Iddipada. But let's use the word friends for your own convenience. 4 friends of meditation. Today we are going to learn about the first Iddipada. So its name is Chanda. Did you get it? Nandi. Okay. That's fine. So, first one is Chanda Iddipala. Chanda means willingness, liking, right? We can use the word desire, but the term desire, it also has some craving, right? Little craving. So therefore, the best term would be willingness, liking. Right? So somebody might ask, willingness. So is willingness and liking. So I think the others. So craving and willingness why are they different? So not only so you have this question. So even in the past, during the Buddhist time, so one practitioner also had this question. So he went to Bhante and asked about this question. At that time, Bhante gave a nice reply. So willingness and this craving, they are two things. So even the enlightened beings, they also have willingness, develop thoughts of willingness. So for an example, so he told that, he answered that meditator. So you had the willingness to come to the temple. So you came to the temple. Whenever you came to the temple, the thought of willingness disappeared. Whenever you are at the temple, the thought of willingness is disappeared. Then after coming to the temple, you had a willingness to come to the Dhamma hall. Then you came to the Dhamma hall. So where they were practicing. At that time, you had a willingness. Whenever you came and sat, that willingness ended. But craving, it doesn't end like that. Right? When you get something, so that person is not satisfied with that. That person wants more and more and more. That's a totally separate emotion. So negativity, right? But willingness, it is a general emotion, so which arises inside the mind. Sometimes certain willingnesses may be influenced by craving, but thoughts of willingness is always neutral, right? So the thought of willingness, it is always neutral, right? So then now I think you might have understood how the thought of willingness is different from craving. Right? So we all have thoughts of willingness, right? So you came to the temple because you had thought of willingness to come here. Right? If you don't have thought of willingness, you won't come. So there are certain when you were asked to in your life, so during your life, so there may be certain things that certain people might have asked you to do, but you refuse to do those things. Why is that? Because you were not willing to do those things. You couldn't develop the feeling of willingness to do that, right? Then, like that, this willingness is important, and it is a very good friend. So in this Dhamma practice, right? So when you so even the meditation teachers, so they have to recognize, good meditation teachers have to recognize the willingnesses of the meditators. Sometimes when you give a certain meditation technique to a certain meditator, you realize that uh, the meditator, even though that meditator has the willingness to practice meditation, that person doesn't have willingness to practice this particular meditation. Right? Then at that time, so we have to introduce them another meditation technique. For an example, let me tell you a story which happened during the Buddhist time. So, Bhante Chullapantaka, so there were two brothers in Savatthi. They came from outside state to Magadha to do trading, to do business. Later on, both of them, they listened to the Buddhist Dharma and started practicing at home. And then gradually when they started developing, the elder brother so wanted to become a Bhante. So he disclosed his intention. His name was Mahapantaka. So he disclosed his intention to his younger brother and he became a Bhante. And then later on, Chullapantaka, the younger brother, Chulla means small, Maha means big. Okay, Pantaka is their maybe a father's name. Right? Father might have. So we have Robert Brown Jr. Do you know Robert Brown Jr.? Do you know Robert Brown Jr.? Do you know Iron Man or
Downey,
yes,
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. Sorry. So Downey Jr. And then Martin Luther King Jr. Right? So like that, there are names even nowadays, right? So how how that can happen? So because the parents sometimes give the same name to the son, right? But when you call them, they are called as Junior. Similarly, that father might have named both the sons as Pantaka to recognize them better. So they might have used these two terms, Maha and Chulla, big Pantaka and small Pantaka. Somehow, that's about the meaning. Then Bhante Mahapantaka was ardent. He practiced very fast, very well, and ardently. So then soon, Bhante Mahapantaka became an advanced Bhante. Then seeing the elder brothers, elder brothers serenity. The younger brother also wanted to have the same. So that when siblings are close, sometimes this happens. Then Chullapantaka, he also disclosed his desire to Mahapantaka, and then Mahapantaka, since he was qualified to ordain his younger brother, he ordained his younger brother. And again, his name was not changed. So generally, generally in the tradition of in the Asian Shramana tradition, tradition of monks in Asia. So whenever you become a, a monk, your name will be changed. Right? Why they do that? To show for them to practice letting go. Right? So that's why they change the name. So if you were used to some kind of a name since your childhood, so they give you another name to let go of that attachment. Right? So this is in not only in Buddhist tradition, this is in Hindu tradition, this is in Jain tradition, and other Dharmic traditions too. Right? For an example, my day name was Jaila. So my father and mother gave me that name. But Banti Chandiman was, I became Chandiman, Banti Chandiman, when I became Banti. Right? So just like that. So then Bante Chullapantaka, he was not like Bante Mahapantaka. Bante Mahapantaka decided, since he gave the very technique that he learned from his teachers, but it didn't work. So Bante Mahapantaka, he gave one stanza. So then he wanted to help his brother to practice smoothly. So he decided to ask Bante Chullapantaka to memorize stanza and recite stanzas and memorize it as a preliminary technique. Bante Chullapantaka began reciting stanzas, but even after 4 months, he couldn't memorize well one stanza. He couldn't memorize even a single stanza after how many months? 4 months. Bante Mahapantaka was so frustrated about his brother. Finally, Bante Mahapantaka told Bante Chullapantaka to disrobe on the following morning after 4 months. He told his younger brother, monkhood is not for you. Please disrobe on the following morning and go home and handle the business. So monkhood is not monkhood is not for you. Then, but Bante Chullapantaka loved his loved to be a Bante. So then, on the following during that night, he was crying, and so he cried throughout the night, and with red eyes, he went to meet the Buddha for the last time as a Bante. And then Buddha asked why he is leaving. Then Bante Chullapantaka, because Buddha knew what's going on, right? So even though there are 1,000 Bantes, because of the Buddha's ability to know the other people's mind, so Buddha knew what's going on. So then Bante Chullapantaka told the whole story. He told, my brother doesn't like me. He's frustrated about me. I even couldn't memorize one single stanza after spending 4 months in the monkhood. So he asked me this problem. Since he told me so, I have to leave. Then Buddha asked Bante Chullapantaka, so whether the robe, whether the ordination belongs to the Buddha or Bante Mahapantaka. Then Bante Chullapantaka said, it belongs to you, O Buddha. Okay, then you don't go. Until I tell you to go, don't go. Then Buddha checked about his past lives and figured out one particular moment in one of his past lives. And then what Buddha did was, he gave Bante Chullapantaka a white cloth. And then, Buddha told Bante Chullapantaka about the impermanence, and then understanding the impermanence, he asked Bante Chullapantaka to rub that particular cloth, saying, Rajo Haranam, this will also become impure, right? This will also, the white cloth, it will become impure. That's the quote that he had to say. Then Bante Chullapantaka started rubbing that white cloth, and then whatever willingness that he whatever the past understanding that he developed, it triggered his mind. Then willingness arose. With that willingness, he kept on rubbing the white cloth. Gradually, the white cloth became dirty because of the impure things on one's hand, like sweat and all the other. And then at that time, it triggered Bhantitulla Pantaka's understanding. He deeply understood the nature of impermanence. That helped him to go deeper, and then through meditation practice, so ardent meditation practice, he became an enlightened monk on that very day. Right? So what Buddha did is, Buddha knew. So for Bhantitulla Pantaka, because of some kind of past incident, he couldn't practice the other one. So he figured out one meditation. So once he was a king, and in a recent life, in that life, so one day he was so sweaty, and then with the white cloth, somebody gave him a white cloth. He so he wiped his sweat with that white cloth, and when he wiped his sweat with that white cloth, so he saw the change which happened inside the white cloth. This moved him completely in that life. What Buddha did was, Buddha triggered that willingness by giving him the same thing. Sometimes, there are things like that. So, but somehow we cannot be just like the Buddha, and we cannot see what you have done in the past. But we have to change. We have to check your characteristics. Because there are 6 characters in the world. So according to those 6 characteristics of those 6 characters, we have to assume that this person has this kind of a character. There are raga charitas, lustful people. Those are characters. Angry people. By nature, they get very angry. They have a lot of anger. Then moha charita, there are certain people who have a lot of delusion. Right? And then Saddha Charita, certain people are very devout. Naturally, they have that. Right? Then Buddhi Charita, certain people are very intelligent. So, Buddhi Charita means character of intelligence. So certain people have that characteristic. And Vitakka Charita means the people who are always thoughtful. There is no time. So there is no time that the person has. I mean, we also have thoughts, but these people have extensive thoughts. There is no time that their mind rests. Right? So they always need intensive thoughts to trigger them. There are such kind of people. Right? So they maintain such kind of thoughts constantly. Vitakka Charita. Always they debate inside, right? So they always think inside. So understanding character, we have to give a meditation that can develop their willingness. You understand? Right? So then there are certain tactics that you can use to develop your willingness in practicing meditation, not only in practicing meditation, but also you can apply these things in other things too, right? So willingness can be developed. So deep willingness can be developed, number one, by understanding the benefits deeply. By understanding benefits deeply, right? So if you don't have the deep understanding about the practices that we do, so even in your general life, right? So if you don't have a deep will to practice meditation, then you are not going to do it well, right? So we need a deep when, right? So to trigger that, we have to understand the benefits of meditation deeply. So for an example, uh, so we have to thoroughly understand how meditation can enhance mental clarity and how it can reduce stress and improve our well-being, right? Then, so that's then at the same time, so we can read books about meditation and watch videos or listen to experts, right, who talk about the benefits of meditation. When we, by those ways, when we learn the benefits of meditation deeply, then what will happen is, so that will to develop a deeper willingness to practice this meditation practice. That's number one. Then number two, so if you if you are a newcomer, instead of allocating a lot of time, so better to start with a small period of time, right? So later on, so if you can, please enlarge the, increase the time that you give for meditation, but at the beginning, so little by little, so we have to begin, right? So small steps. So start small and easy, right? Then gradually, we have to increase the time. Then, if not, let's say we allocate a lot of time, but we cannot practice. So we cannot concentrate well. Then what will happen is, so if it is okay, it is okay. If it is a long retreat, like 10-day retreat or something like that, that's fine. I mean, I'm talking about the people, general people who start meditation at home by attending these kinds of short sessions, right? Then, so you have to have minimum expectations, so to get fulfilled. So you should not think to have concentration throughout those 5 minutes when you practice. So you have to think, at least I will maintain my concentration for about 5 seconds. That's enough. Small goal. And whenever you could do that, so your willingness develops, and then your willpower, your determination develops, right? Then after that, so your effort, it also develops, and then so yeah, you thoughtfully think, right? This is very good practice, and then so you get motivated to practice, right? So start small and easy. And number three is, so make the environment peaceful. So it is good if you are a beginner to keep the environment clean and nice, right? So without staggering stuff all around the house, to keep the house simple. Try to keep the house simple, right? Or at least, so the place where you practice meditation, please keep that place simple, right? And so sometimes there are people who stagger stuff after stuff at home, right? So all kinds of old clothes. So they bought 10 years ago, even 10 years ago, they have them inside the various kinds of containers, right? Even though you don't use them, you feel like not throwing them away. So you say, oh, this is something which was bought by somebody in the past. So I cannot throw this away. Right? So, like that, so they keep those things even though they don't use them, right? So then, yeah, so better to let those things go. I already told this the 5 year system already, so I'm not going to do that today. So in brief, so keep the place simple and nice. And then, so better to keep some kind of candles, cushions, and so such kind of things around. And then that will also develop willingness. And then connect it with something meaningful, right? Connect it with something meaningful. So when you practice meditation, so mentally to connect it with something meaningful, right? Uh, so for an example, so you can look at the chart, right? So you can look at the chart. I gave you a chart. Hope you mark it every day. All students, do you mark it every day? Right? They're very nice. Whenever you look at that, it triggers, it develops willingness. That's why I give it to you. I don't give it without any purpose. I always have a deep inside intention when I give you something. Even the chart has its own psychological effect. That's why I gave you the chart. Whenever you give marks, you will see your own progress. Then you will get motivated. Not only you assess yourself, you will get motivated when you see higher marks in your chart. Right? Keep a journal every day. You can write after the meditation. You can write something about your experience in your meditation. Today I was successful. Today my meditation was not successful because I was thinking about it. So like that. So you write down on a journal, or you can connect it to a personal goal. Right? So if it is a student, if there is a student, so that student can connect it with his own education, right? So if there is a worker, so while working, you can connect it to the peace of mind, right? So like that, so connect it to a personal goal and reflect on how meditation aligns with your values and aspirations. So that's about your values, and you can connect it with your values and future aspirations, how it can help. This will also develop willingness. And then when so so with the chart you can track your progress, right? So another way is tracking your progress and celebrate small wins, right? So whenever you could meditate very well on that day, you can celebrate it. How you can celebrate it? You can cook the so cook your favorite meal on that and serve yourself, saying you did a good job. And then after that, so again by that way too, so you get motivated, you develop deep willingness, and then so you can join a community or find a good mentor, so that can uh, push you, that can motivate you to practice deeper, right? I don't know whether I am a good mentor or not, right? So then, if I am not good, then find another one. So the next one is be patient and kind to yourself. Whenever you couldn't concentrate, so what you have to do is, so you have to be patient with yourself, right? So you have to be patient with yourself, and you have to be kind. You have to be kind to yourself. So all meditators, they struggle at the beginning. Right? So fortunately, since you are in United States, you don't have to struggle with the mosquitoes. At the beginning, I remember how hard it was when I was at the 10-day meditation center. The Bhantes had to sit So at the corner, and it was a dark area. Pandit had a special platform to sit and meditate. So I was the youngest, and so there was one hall which was there to have light, and it was not covered. Mosquitoes come through that one, and then they bite us. So like that. Yeah, but still, so since you are Bandi, you can't kill them. So the only thing that you can do is sharing loving kindness. Right. So somehow, just kidding. So somehow, so you have to be patient and kind to yourself, right? When you're practicing, right? Even though there are obstacles, you have to endure and gradually you will improve, right? And then these are things that you can do to develop willingness, right? So then willingness will be a great friend in your meditation practice. It will help you. It will help you to push you to motivate you in practicing this noble, non-sectarian, pure meditation practice. Then that will give you a lot of that will help you to develop three things. Number one, it will help you to establish deeply in morality, and at the same time that will help you to establish deeply in concentration, and concentration will help you to develop deep wisdom. By those ways, you will be able to let go of all negativities, and that will help you to develop all positivities. Practicing this noble Dharma path, then finally, this willingness will help us to come out of all the difficulties, all the negativities, and develop all the positivities and attain real peace, real happiness. Nibbana. So everyone, please develop willingness with it. Now we are going to conclude. Everyone, please think together, all of us gathered, and practice this noble non-sectarian pure meditation technique. And whatever the positive energy that we accumulated, so by the power of all that positive energy, so I'm thinking about my father too. So wherever he is, one day may he gain this noble Dharma path once again. He was a good practitioner when he was, even though he was a layperson. So wherever he is, may he be well, happy and peaceful, and practicing Dharma path. One day may he also be able to attain real peace, real happiness, Nibbana. May this positive energy be with all of us. May all our troubles be away. May all the good things happen in our lives. Practicing this noble, non-sectarian, pure meditation practice and Dhamma path, may all of us also enjoy real peace, Nibbana. Everyone, please consider. Abhivadana Selise Nichang Vata Pachain Chattaro Dhamma Vadanti Ayuvanno Sukhang Balang Ayurarogya Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Me Vache Ato Nibbana Sampatti Iminati Samicchetu. May all of you be well. May all of you be happy. May all of you be very, very peaceful. It's okay. Good night to everyone. Please stay first. See you again in the next video. It's okay.
So
Right. Right. Good night, Mr. Fuad. Thank you so much.
Good night to you,
Bante.
Bante. Thank you. I want to wish you peace and love in your father's memory. May his memory bring you comfort.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Fuad. Ms. Divya and Farnika, good night.
Good night, Mr. Banti.
Good night. No, the good night. Pragati and Rahul, good night.
Right, Bande, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And condolences for your father's loss and wishing you and your family a lot of peace and calmness during this difficult time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ram Bhaiya, good night.
Good night, Bhante.
Good night. No, the good night. Good night, Miss Shireen.
Good night. Thank you, Bante.
Be happy. Neha Didi, good night.
Good night, Bante.
Good night.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sure.
Then Mrs. Shehnaz, Mr. Adil, good night.
Good night, Bante. Take care. Be
No,
well.
Sukhi ho tu. You be happy. Miss Trupti, good night. Good night, everyone.